Welcome back to the CryptoWorld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now, both Bitcoin and Ethereum are still finding support along these important price ranges on the charts, heading into the next FOMC meeting, which is coming up in just a few hours. So I'll be talking more about that in just a moment, so make sure you stick around to the end of this video to not miss out on any of this important information. First of all, talking about the FOMC meeting, also known as a Fed meeting, which is happening today. In fact, by the time you watch this video, it might have already happened because the Fed's interest rate decision will be released at 6 p.m. GMT time, as always. And at the time of recording this video, that's just a few hours away. And now the probabilities for this FOMC meeting haven't really changed over the past few days because, as you can see right here, there's still an 82% chance of a 75 basis point hike happening and an 18% chance of a 100 basis point hike happening. And so based on what the futures market has currently priced in, the most likely outcome for this FOMC meeting is going to be a 75 basis point hike. But technically speaking, the market is currently pricing in a small probability for a potential 100 basis point hike. And now in my last video that I posted yesterday on the channel, I talked about exactly what this means in detail. But basically, out of these two possible outcomes, a possible 75 basis point hike or a possible 100 basis point hike, it's the 75 basis point hike that's technically considered the bullish scenario, and the 100 basis point hike that's considered the bearish scenario. And once again, if you want to know exactly why that is the case, then check out my last video on the channel because I went into more detail in that video. And as always, if you want to stay up to date on all of this, then make sure you're subscribed to this channel with notifications turned on so that you're not missing out on any of these important update videos in the future. And also for extra real-time updates, make sure you follow me over on my Twitter, and the link to my Twitter is in the description down below and also in the pinned comment. But anyway, jumping into the charts today, this right here is the Nasdaq 100 index on the daily time frame, and over the last 1 to 2 days, we haven't really seen a lot of price action in the stock market. And as of right now, the Nasdaq 100 index is still finding some resistance around this previous golden pocket level of support, which is coming into play at roughly around 12,000. And so it is important for the Nasdaq 100 index to actually break back above that key level right there on the chart. And preferably, if the Nasdaq 100 index flips that level into new support again, then that would essentially confirm more of a bullish reversal into another shorter term bullish trend. And that scenario could also be backed up by this bullish divergence, which has technically already formed on the daily time frame for the Nasdaq 100 index, because obviously we have lower lows in the price action but higher lows in the RSI. And so technically speaking, this tells us that we're due to see reduced bearish momentum in the somewhat shorter term relative to the daily time frame for the Nasdaq 100 index. But obviously keep in mind, if we do end up seeing a 100 basis point hike, that could potentially destroy this bullish divergence. And once again, I still wouldn't flip too bullish again in the short term for the Nasdaq 100 index until we potentially see a breakback above that golden pocket. But anyway, getting into the Bitcoin part of this video, this right here is the daily Bitcoin chart. And obviously over the last couple of days, we've continued to see the Bitcoin price find a lot of support in this massive range of support that I've been covering for multiple months now on this channel. And this range of supports, by the way, is sitting in between around 18,500 and 19,000. And so as I've been mentioning time and time again in these videos, there's obviously a lot of buyers in this price range right here waiting to buy up Bitcoin, because what we can see with pretty much all of these previous lows is basically any time where the price of Bitcoin enters into that price range right here, we see the buyers step in and obviously buy up the price of Bitcoin. And so considering the significance of this range of supports, considering how many times we've seen bounces along this range of support so far, it is crucial for the price of Bitcoin to hold above 18.5k, because otherwise, if we start to see, for example, a daily candle close below 18.5k, then that would be a strong signal on the chart telling us that we're running out of buyers at this price range right here, which could result in another leg to the downside. And in that potential scenario, there would be a technical price target to the downside based on a possible head and shoulders pattern that's forming right here. And once again, if you're new to this channel and you want to know what that price target is, then check out my video that I posted 2 days ago on this channel, because in that video, I went into more detail about that technical price target to the downside. But anyway, taking a look at the shorter term, this right here is the 4-hour Bitcoin chart. And right now, as I've recorded in this video, the price of Bitcoin is finding a bit of short-term support around this previous Fibonacci level right here, which is sitting at roughly around 19.4 to 19.5K. And previously, this level right here did act as some resistance back here and also support right here as well. So this level does have significance according to Bitcoin's recent history. And anything above that level, if we actually see a breakback above 19.5K, then I would expect more resistance at this previous golden pocket, which is sitting at roughly around $20,000. And that would basically be the control level for Bitcoin, meaning that if Bitcoin flips 20K into new support again, then we could start to see some more bullish price action and essentially form more of a bullish trend. But obviously, while the price of Bitcoin is below 20,000, then we can't really flip too bullish again, at least not yet, because obviously we're still technically within this shorter term downtrend, forming lower highs, lower lows. And at least as of right now, we don't really have any clear bullish reversal signals on the Bitcoin charts. But obviously, once we do eventually see those signals, I'll keep you updated in these videos. And so technically speaking, as of right now, we're still more bearish than bullish in the short term for Bitcoin, but the coming FOMC meeting could change that. So expect some volatility soon. But anyway, getting into the Ethereum part of this video, this right here is the daily Ethereum chart. And right now, the price of ETH is still finding support along this important golden pocket level of support, which is sitting at around 1.3K approximately. And not only is that 1.3K level significant due to this important Fibonacci level, it's also significant based on these previous points of resistance. And so it's important for the price of ETH to hold above around 1.3K, because otherwise, if we start to see, for example, a daily candle close below 1.3K, then in that scenario, we could likely see a continued drop down towards this next Fibonacci level of support, which is sitting at just above 1.1K. And anything below that, then I would expect some support down towards these lows, which are sitting at almost exactly $1,000. And anything below those lows, then we have this final level of support at the June low, which is coming into play just underneath $900. So those are the key levels of support on the daily time frame to keep an eye on for Ethereum. And as for resistance right here, if we see a bit more of a bounce, for example, if we see that 75 basis point hike, and when Jerome Powell speaks just after the FOMC meeting, if he comes across more dovish, which basically means if he comes across less firm on market, so a little bit more easygoing, then that would basically be the environment that would support a bounce here in markets. And in that scenario, looking for resistance, I'll be looking towards this level right here, which is sitting at just above 1.4K, more specifically around 1430 to 1450. But zooming into the shorter term, taking a look at the 4-hour Ethereum chart, we're still finding some short-term resistance around this exact 3-day moving average, also known as a 72-hour moving average. And right now, as I've recorded in this video, this is currently sitting at roughly around 1350. And so if the price of ETH confirms a breakout above around 1350 with something like a 4-hour candle close, for example, then that could be our first bullish signal that we could see in the short term, telling us that we're due to see a bit more of a relief here. But I want to make it clear that at least as I've recorded this video, right now, this has not yet happened. Technically speaking, we are still looking more bearish than bullish as I've recorded this video. But like I said earlier, if we get the 75 basis point hike and if Jerome Powell is a little bit more dovish than usual, then that potential outcome today could support a possible relief rally across markets. But other than that, technically speaking, based on the charts alone, we're technically still more bearish than bullish. But whether or not the price is going up, down, or just chopping around sideways, either way, you can make money in crypto by watching these videos popping up right here on your screen. Because the video in the top left of your screen, it shows you how to make money if the price is going either up or down. And the video in the bottom left of your screen shows you how to make money if the price is chopping around sideways. But anyway, that's everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you all in the next video.